Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your weekly Bitcoin update. This is for the week of Monday, September 29th, 2025. Same weekly bar chart I'll be showing throughout. This one spans some 6 years or so, and it was almost a year ago from now, November of last year, that we settled for the first time above a 5-year channel structure, which at the time indicated, I think I was mentioning a 3 to 5 month target at the 122,433 full wave count. You take the 21 high, subtract from it the 22 low, you add it back to the 21 high, and you get that full balance, that full swing. 122,433 has roughly, essentially, contained buying pressures for the entire, since July. And we do have a bit of a double top here, which I'll get to in a moment. But, having tested 122,433, you must allow for the possibility of falling back into the mid-80s, this 85,640 channel top that we settled above once again almost a year ago. Now, we did collapse back to it during the tariff talks and that sort of short-term bear market we had earlier this year. We tested this significantly, even spiked through it a number of times, but we never closed back below this channel structure. Had we, I think that would have been considered a long-term high. But until then, we were anticipating still the 122,433 area, which we did test over the summer and have backed away modestly. So this is the big picture. 122,433 ceiling, 85,640 floor, and I'll just leave it at that for the time being. Let's move on to the fact that we have this rising, coming off the April low, 6-month channel bottom that contained last week's lows and so far this week's lows. It's at 109,426 and climbing. And holding above 109,426 not only allows a retest of 122,433 over the next month or two, but even outright upward continuation to new highs. I have a price target in the 137 handle that I'll show in a moment. But holding above 109,426, I don't see a good reason to sell this market unless we close below it. And if we do close below 109,426, I would anticipate this could be a 2 to 3 month collapse. It could take a little longer, but this 86,803 formation. So closing this week below 109,426, I see no compelling reason to stay long Bitcoin. If you're long Bitcoin, and if your time horizon is typically, 2 to 3 months, you may consider exiting the market and just sort of watching from the sidelines. Or if there's some way in the ETF markets or what have you, where you could approximate reaching for an 86,000, 87,000, 88,000 strike out of the money put that doesn't expire for at least 6 months, that would also be a good play in terms of enhancing your prospects to the downside. At that 86,803, we also have, of course, this former long-term 5-year channel bottom. So this is the 3 to 5 month or sooner play to the downside if we close this week below 109,426. Until then, this is bottom picking territory through the month of October and really through the rest of the year. Let's take a look at the upside. I do have this channel top. So this is kind of the finessing of a buy signal that I think could play out, into later year, wherein if we were to close this week, and it's highly unlikely, but let me say two things about this. First off, if you're a 2 to 3 week swing trader, these are your parameters, in my opinion: buying 109,426 and selling 118,897, and selling short, whatever form that might take, 118,897, anticipating a return to the 109,426 formation. Now, if you're not long right now, or you're looking to go long and you're reluctant to buy 109,426 because by definition that is on weakness, you can buy on strength with a settlement above 118,897. And if we do close over the next few weeks above 118,897, I actually expect a violation of this long-term resistance that I can show here at 122,433. We've got a double top here. The triple top is less common. You've got a double top here. And then on the next attempt, we pushed through it and then we consolidated. But I guess what I'm saying is I don't like selling double tops. I think they're almost made to be violated. Now, there are times where the double top will hold for a period of time. And so if you're more comfortable going long Bitcoin with a settlement above 122,433, that is an obvious buy signal, anticipating then 137,677 within 2 to 3 months. But I think, if you want to be a more aggressive, a long position, an early entry on a move that could take 2 or 3 months up to 137,677, I have no problem buying a settlement above 118,897. As I've already said, I think you can also buy weakness at 109,426 and achieve the same results in the coming months. Where can I see this on both? I don't, is it here? No, it's actually nowhere. So holding above, and what is the number? And I don't mean to drag you through this, but the number is 137,677. So really what I'm saying here is 137,677. I'm just going to draw, a line that approximates that 137. That's roughly it right here. So holding above 109,426, that 137,000 area long-term channel top in reach, possibly by the end of the year, over the next 3 to 5 months, let's call it, within 2 to 3 months of closing above 122,433. But once again, I think you can act sooner on that. I think you can buy a settlement above 118,897, and then your 137 area roughly is here. Let me redo that. That becomes, 2 to 3, 3 to 5 month target if we close above 118,897. I guess I'm just giving you all the scenarios for reaching this long-term channel top at 137,677. You can bottom pick that 109 area that I showed before, the rising channel bottom, or you could buy strength above 118,897. Worst case, you can wait for a settlement above 122,433, and then you're just about 2 to 3 months away from reaching this significant rising channel top at 137,677. If tested in the coming months, can contain buying through the first quarter and possibly into later 26. But all of that is a moot point if, once again, we happen to close this week below 109,426. Then I think this market shows weakness through the rest of the year. Over the next 3 to 5 months or sooner, this mid 80,000 area would be expected. I'm going to leave it at that for this week's Bitcoin Real-Time Index update. You have a great week.